Welcome to the You Can't Afford Me podcast, where we skip the fluff and dive straight into the grind. Real entrepreneurs, real struggles, and the unfiltered journey behind success. Let's get into it. Hey guys, thanks for joining us on another episode of the You Can't Afford Me podcast. So again, one thing I love about doing this podcast, I get to meet some interesting people. This is actually our first time, really conversating and chatting. So I was at the shout out to the Big Dipper Summit here in Richmond that was put on by Ken and the team at JMI. And I heard this brother on stage. I think he had like maybe 15 minutes on stage, and I was like, yo, I got to talk to this dude, man. There's something there. He's doing some cool stuff. I could potentially see some collaboration with what we have going on. So today we got Will on the podcast. Will, how you doing, buddy?
How you doing?
Awesome, man.
First thing, man, this spot is dope. I love it. I walked in, I was like, wow, yeah, I like it. So good job, man.
I appreciate you. So give everybody a quick rundown who you are, what you do.
Who I am. I'm Will. I'm the owner of the music shop, founder of the music shop. I'm a creative director, creative project management. That's what we do. So that spans across graphic design, brand design, videography, photography, social media content and strategy. I mean, basically in this environment, you kind of got to like be a Swiss Army knife. You know what I'm saying? But our goal is just to we bring life to people's visions. You know what I'm saying? They have a vision and we bring life to it. So I don't like to really box us into anything because, we've worked on some really different things over the last few years. Things I never thought I'd have the privilege to work at and things I'd never work at again. You know what I'm saying? Sounded like a good idea. You know what I'm saying? So really that's who I am, what we do at the music shop. I'm also a husband, father of 3 sons, you know what I'm saying?
Nice.
Well, you know what I'm saying? So
man, you got 3 boys.
Yeah, the Cowboys fan. You know what I'm saying?
Man, see, all right. Thanks for joining us, guys. I got no problem. Well, you just got one of my boys. I'm a Pittsburgh Steelers fan.
Okay,
so you guys got
pickings. Pickup. Yeah, that was a good pickup.
Good luck controlling that attitude, but we'll see.
Hey man, this is the Cowboys we're talking about, man. We've had some of the craziest personalities in the history of football. So,
I said, man, Cowboys will get good if they go back to having your lineman on a yacht snorting coke. That's when y'all had a squad.
Hey man, you know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna put it on their jacket, but it did seem that way, right? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it seemed that way.
They just need a little inspiration.
Let the boys be boys, right? Yeah.
So let's go back. Before you owned this organization, what were you doing?
Oh, man, that's a loaded question, but so I guess it's in stages, right? Mm-hmm. So I went into college actually on a partial soccer scholarship.
Oh, nice.
So that's what I thought I was going to do with my life. I never thought I was going to be playing in England or something, but I did think I was good enough to play for the Kickers and, make a career out of it. But got sick, lost my scholarship, and had a big void in my life. And the one passion that I had outside of soccer was always been music. My mom instilled that in me very young. I mean, most of the music I listened to, my mom put me onto. You know what I'm saying?
Nice.
At one point, you know what I'm saying? So.
What was she putting you on? It's like Motown stuff.
She was a young mother in the early, late 80s, early 90s. You know what I'm saying? So Mike, Whitney, New Kids on the Block, Shania Twain,
the good stuff.
The really good stuff. And we could have a conversation about how the curation of the music industry changed. That could be a whole conversation.
You mean mumble rap between real rap type stuff?
Yeah, but even just the way the industry infrastructure is built now,
absolutely,
and how that produces different results. You know what I'm saying?
With streaming now, and artists have to go on tour to make their money.
And then too, who's choosing the music? Back then, it was a very the business of it was very messy and sinister almost. You know what I'm saying? But man, the product was just so good, and you see that a lot in results of how sometimes when you push people to the brink, you just get these amazing results because humans are amazing, right? Mm-hmm. But it's not a good practice. You know what I'm saying? And it's led to even things that are happening right now in the news, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So,
you look at MJ, back in the day, his dad worked him like a slave, man. Boy, you gonna work on these dance moves and these vocals, and that's all we're gonna do.
Yeah. But it's that's where it gets so convoluted because it's not right? We know that treating your kids but is there some type of love in that too from Joe, where he's just like, he knows what his son is.
Oh, there was definitely
and,
some
you know
love.
what I'm saying? It's like, yo, like Serena's dad knew.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Tiger Woods' dad.
And we always get this kind of like from the black fathers. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't get that because, you know, it's the same way on the other side. It's just, and in other cultures, right? We hear the story. But
yeah, like Asian parents are super strict. We don't hear about that piece.
No negative on that. It's like, no, because they produce good results, right? Like, yo, what's bad about anything that Serena produced out here? You know what I'm saying? Now, don't get me wrong. Where the lines cross, I'm sure. Whatever. That's not my business. You know what I'm saying? Like, but again, there is something about like pushing people to that like
absolutely
brink where they like you come up with innovation, you come up with like real pain, real stories that like people will draw something out of you that you don't know that you have. You know what I'm saying?
You get magic from those moments.
That's a fine line to walk. You know, I'm a manager, and that's a fine line for me to walk. Of like, how do you keep your artists like mentally healthy and like happy about what they're doing, so they do it right and do it well, and also get them to handle the stuff that they do not like, man. You know what I'm saying? Because there's stuff they're just like, yo, I'm reminding my artists right now, you know, we're 6 months in. It's like, you know, it's going to get done, but it's like, yo, he does, you know, just innately he doesn't want to do it because it hasn't been done. You know? It's like,
but it's also that mama mentality. First of all, let me tell you, you're free to cuss on this podcast.
Okay, gotcha.
Number two, like, it's that mama mentality. Like, but there's an element of that too where I feel like the era that we grew up in, because you and I are about the same age, it was expected that if you wanted something, you had to earn it. And now it's like, because you look at a guy like Kobe, which I didn't truly respect Kobe until after he passed away.
See that I'm like, to me, Kobe's my GOAT. I know Jordan's the GOAT of basketball, but Kobe's my GOAT.
Yeah, it's that mentality.
I watched that 20 years.
See, I hated him because I was a Sacramento Kings fan, and he knocked us out the playoffs. Like, Chris Webber would have like 4 rings right now if it wasn't for Kobe Bryant.
One of my great friends hates Michael Jordan because
he's from Detroit.
No, his father was a fan of the Pistons. And that trickled down.
The only people that hate MJ are Detroit Pistons fans. Everybody else recognizes greatness. But there's a piece there where it's like, I understand wanting to push somebody, but those people who have become superstar, to become a superstar, a GOAT, or the best of the best, you have to be obsessed.
Even to stand out nowadays.
You have to be so dedicated to your craft. And I don't think that's something where somebody can push you to it. There has to be an element in you that wants this.
I agree. Well, I think it can be pushed towards.
Oh, yeah.
Because sometimes there's things in your life that will actually, like pain, trauma, stunted growth, just lack of resources, that can lock your gift under layers. So like it may take like for me, I am definitely like learn it the hard way type of person. Like I got to go through it for some reason. I don't know why. Like when there's smart, intelligent people that I love and trust, and they're like, don't do it. I'm like, well, the stove, it's
it ain't that hot.
It's red. Let me just try it. Yeah. So but it still has to be there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so I agree with you on like that foundation part of it. Like, it still has to be there.
Yeah, like nobody had to tell Kobe you need to shoot 1,000 free throws after the game. Or you need to stay 3 hours after everybody finished practice. Like, there's something in you.
Yeah, but it's like, even when they mistaked his dedication for arrogance to me, like, I always saw it. I always saw it as like, they were like, oh, he's arrogant. And it's like, you just don't know what it's like to be that hungry. You never tasted your back before. You know what I'm saying? Like, and there's people out here that have worked so hard they taste their back, and there's some people who that's just where they started. You know what I'm saying? And you know, when you go through that, it's just not something you can explain. And Mike Street, you know Mike Street?
Yeah.
That's my big bro. You know, I love him.
Oh, nice.
And he explained to me one day, like, when you're going through this journey of life, you're on like peaks and valleys. You know, like some peaks are really, really high. Some peaks are in the valleys are really low. Some are in between, right?
Yep.
But when you're in a valley, there's no way you can see what's in front of you until you get up the mountain, right? So even game he tried to feed me at times, he understand I wasn't even. You're
not at the level.
I'm not there to receive it yet because I'm still working to it. But when I am, he's always been like, he's dropped a new gem on me, and because I'm able to see it from a fresh perspective.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So, I think that's part of like what people have to understand, and I think a lot of frustration comes from, and where somebody who's a couple hills behind you, they don't even know what they're about to get in. What's next? You know what I'm saying? I'm looking at it. You know what I'm saying? I'm in it. You know what I'm saying? You're talking from somebody who is 6 mountains behind me. And it doesn't even have to be in like a competitive way. Like we're just at different levels. There has to be somebody 6 levels ahead and 6 levels behind for this thing to kind of work. So, but it's really hard to explain that to somebody. You can't even see the sky from this point. Yeah. You don't even see how beautiful that view is or how bad that view is or what these trenches are really like because you're still back over there or just over there. You know what I'm saying? You're not over here. So I think that's just, to kind of bring it in a little bit, like that's where the point of confusion is, I think, in a lot of instances. And
totally agree.
Especially in, social media outrage or social outrage of like, we're looking at it from totally different perspectives. Where's the conversation to kind of get it in the middle so you can kind of see it from my view, I can see it from your view. You're not mad at me because I'm just looking at it from a different view. And there's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think we could have avoided a lot of that with Kobe. I think we could have avoided a lot of that today.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Like, but I think that's what's good and bad about some of the technology advances.
Yeah.
Because imagine having getting an in-depth conversation with Kobe like that at the time and really understanding that psyche and Mamba mentality. Because that Mamba mentality really did or kind of like what you said, it came later for a lot of people. Yeah. They didn't see it, or they just, he was such a fierce competitor. They didn't like him.
Because it was like he's a ball hog, his beef with Shaq, all this stuff.
He won 5 rings. It's hard to, it's like, I don't like you, but you keep producing results. Yeah. It sucks. I can't get rid of you. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, and people feel like that about LeBron now. They feel like that about Steph or, whoever. You know what I'm saying?
It's like, the whole Tom Brady era. If you weren't a Patriots fan, you hated Tom Brady because he's just killing you.
Yeah, Tom Brady was one of those people where it's like, after third or fourth ring, I was like, and LeBron, because I didn't like him at first. I was just like, in that competitive nature, like he's killing all the people. I like, he's too nice. But then it's like they reach a certain milestone. And it's like,
this is greatness.
I gotta start appreciating the greatness of it. Like I don't like it still. Like it's like, I don't like that he beat, Steph. He came back from 3-1 on Steph. But God. Dang, if that isn't...
That's how I feel about Patrick Mahomes right now, because I didn't like Patrick at all with the Kermit the Frog voice. His wife seems super annoying, all the stuff. His brother's a joke, trying to be on TikTok. All that stuff.
It's a lot of issues.
But then when he got to the Super Bowl the last time, I'm like, okay, dog. Number one, we never thought we'd see another Tom Brady. Yeah. He could potentially surpass some of those things that Tom Brady could. So it's like,
and he's already done some in the time spans. You know what I'm saying?
But it's like taking a moment to recognize that and realize, we are living in a moment right now we may never see again in our lifetime. Appreciate this.
Yeah. Because what? Even the people who hated Jordan are telling stories about Jordan because they witnessed it and they took it in. You know what I'm saying? People who played against him, who he did dirty, said foul things to, they were on here laughing on podcasts. It's like because
he could back it up.
Because the results of everything derived just like it demands some type of level of respect.
If you're winning, people will forget some other things that took place as long as you keep winning.
But it's like also like, it wasn't even just a winning thing. It was a domination thing. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? If you look at a decade, 6 out of 10 is crazy, bro. And there's nobody really that's done it quite like that. You know what I'm saying? And I think in an equally competitive league.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. That's why Tiger Woods will forever be my favorite golfer, because it's like, bruh, the margin of victory, in the Masters, this dude's winning by 12 strokes. Yeah. That is unheard of.
But he's like King Griffey Jr. to me.
Yeah.
He made a sport that I did not like, that I probably would have never been interested in, likable.
Absolutely.
So it's like those type of things. Serena too. I like tennis, and I watch Roger Federer. I watch Nadal. I was really into that time where what's his name? Andy Riddick?
Yeah.
And Roger used to have.
Yep.
And Roger used to beat him every time, but just one time we was hoping Andy would pull it off for USA. Yeah.
Yep.
Like I was in all of that, but it started because like Serena to me made it cool. Like it was just something about him, and
she set the stage for Coco now. Watch Coco now because of Serena.
Crazy, yeah, it's kind of like. That's kind of like deja vu a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, my
like,
God,
like kind of like the feeling of it all starting off of like this young girl defying the odds and like become a champion so early. And like she has a chance to maybe outdo Serena if she continues where she started right now. Now, we're not going to get ahead of ourselves. But like, the age she's starting, like, I'm gonna be hyped for this. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
I'm going to watch it. Like Michael Phelps. Who
nobody cared about swimming. Nobody gave a shit about swimming before that.
Like that. It's like, yeah.
Same with Lance Armstrong with biking. I didn't watch biking before. Who cared about cyclists?
Yeah. Especially those type of bikes. You know what I'm saying? Like I had the BMXs.
Oh yeah.
Dave Mirra, you know what I'm saying? Like but like Lance Armstrong. Now I'm all of a sudden into the Tour de France.
Yep.
Like you know what I'm saying? Like what? Yeah, I agree. So steroids aside, that's a awesome thing. I think you know what I'm saying, that you can have anything in life where time stamps it becomes a time capsule. That's what I call them. So like when we made music and I'm like talking about artists, I'm like, what kind of music are you trying to make? Because I'm into making time capsule music, music that can be placed in a period of time or takes you back to a period of time.
Yes.
So like Mariah Carey's "All I Want for Christmas," that's a period of time. That's a time capsule, but it doesn't necessarily always take you to a period of time.
But every Christmas, you walk into Target, what is playing on the loudspeaker?
But you might hear another song that, like, for me, when I hear "Gangsta's Paradise," which I still on record will say is the best rap song ever made.
Ooh, hot take.
People get mad at me, but I'm telling you, it's the most complete one if you really look at all of the things of hip hop. But it takes me back to being in front of my mom's house in the car with my best friend Rusty, and it's nighttime. Like I can tell you what I'm doing, and we've heard it for the 5th time, and we're rewinding it back to listen to it again.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's like the hardest thing in the world that we've heard at this point. You know what I'm saying? So there's those type of things that I feel like.
Music elicits feelings and moments in your life.
So the sports, like I remember to this day I don't watch college football like that because of 2001 Tostitos Bowl when they cheated the Miami Hurricanes, and that's when Ohio State became the powerhouse that they are today. But it was off a bad call. So since then, I have not watched college football like that. You know what I'm saying? So again, it's tied to it could be anything, fashion. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
I remember I had to have and I've talked about.
Don't say the Jinkos, man.
No, I went through a phase where I wanted Jinkos for sure. That's why when I saw them in the store the other day,
things went hard.
But they weren't
back in the
Jinkos. They're the new kid with the kid, but they're Jinkos.
They were hard back in the day. I ain't gonna lie. Again, if you wore them right? So I saw the guys wearing them right in the skate videos and stuff like that. And Kendrick Lamar was basically wearing Jinkos during the Super Bowl runs.
Well, he was wearing flare pants.
Yeah.
They were more like bell bottoms, not as big as the but Playboy Cardi wears the Jinkos.
Yeah.
But you mean some of these baggy jeans we were wearing in 2004 were basically Jinkos, you know what I'm saying?
Like you barely see the toe box on your shoe. Like
I was wearing 38s. I was a 26. You know what I'm saying? Like, my jeans were big, bro. But anyways, it's just like these things. I remember wanting there was all white Flaves or Air Force Ones if you're not from Virginia, and they had the gum bottoms.
Oh yeah.
And they were in VCC. I can't remember the store. I will say that, but I remember they were tucked off in the back corner.
Yeah.
And I saw them. I was like, bro, I have to get these. So, I saved up my money. I got them. That's like a moment, again, a time capsule. So now every time I see Flaves, I'm like, damn, I missed them. You know what I'm saying? Or when I matched the red and black Flaves with the Iverson Philly jersey. Oh my! I thought
the Jordan 13 is that for me.
Okay,
one of my friends was playing basketball down the street. He had on the Jordan 13 Flints.
Okay.
And then I ran up to the house, told my parents, "Yo, I got to get these Jordans." And they're like, "Bro, your foot is growing 2 inches every other day. We're not spending at the time it was like $120 on a pair of Jordans or something.
It'd be like $700 now.
Yeah. So I just liquidated my entire sneaker collection. I had like over 180 pairs of shoes when I sold my collection. Yeah. And that obsession started because my parents wouldn't buy me the shoes. And I said, you know what? When I'm old enough and I make my own money, I'm going to give myself all the shoes I want.
Yeah. Well, that's what I think people... I think a lot of people realize this, what I'm about to say, but a lot of people don't. But I think this is when you can start to chill out a little bit of life and to not take yourself so seriously. Mm-hmm. When you become an adult, all you do is just nurture the things that you loved as a kid. Yep. That's it. So it's like you're still a big ass kid. Just like relax a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So I wish more people carried that passion with them.
That's why I got NBA Jam arcade machines in my office.
Yeah. When I was telling them, I don't know if you know this, I had a creative space downtown called Center. I sold it last year to Rudy. I'm still running, but it's it's kind of like a little different concept now. Yeah. But it was basically a boys club, bro. I had a barbershop, a recording studio, a tattoo shop, an event space, in a clothing store up front, all in one building. Nice. And at one point, I had a dispensary in there, like not but like a CBD and infused dispensary. So like all I did is make a career out of just like things that I was obsessed with as a kid, which was music, going to the barbershop. Like I remember, I'm a white guy. I'm with my boy Mike in a black barbershop, and this is a little bit way different culturally now, but back in that, white people tap their feet. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't really see them bobbing their head at a public situation. So, I'm like tapping my feet to the song. He's like, bro, you can bob your head in here. You can bob your head in here. And I'm like, I remember that from the barbershop and being like, okay, I'm in a space where I can be myself. You know what I'm saying? Now, like the next time I start talking a little bit more, you know what I'm saying? And But it's like those things that we learn, love, meant something to us as a kid, they really come back out as an adult. And where the conflict usually is when we try to resist it or fight it in like think it's beneath us or something like that.
I remember in 5th grade, I was on the media team and I started doing camcorder work. And look at what I do now. Yeah,
bro, exactly, yeah. I
hadn't thought about that for like 15 years in between that. And then I got into my adult years and I was like, you know what? I really enjoyed doing that. And it all came back around full circle.
Going back to the, proving people wrong thing. Like, I remember I grew up in foster care. And one of my foster parents, I was in the back seat. And Eminem was on the radio. I was like, one day I'm going to be on the radio like Eminem. Mm-hmm. And they were like, no, you're not. And so,
you ain't gonna tell me I can't do something.
I was maybe 13 at the time. I didn't get on the radio till I was maybe like 26, 27, 28, somewhere around there.
Still.
Oh yeah, that was the first thing I said. But I didn't even realize it. You know what I'm saying? You carry some of these things with you through life, bro. Mm-hmm. So the best thing is like kind of not accept it if it's bad, but like embrace it so you can know what to do with it. And do it healthily.
You can take some of those painful moments and turn that into something insane. Yeah. So let's get to before you're doing what you're doing now. Yeah. What were you involved in?
All right. Yeah. So I was a musician. I mean, so I left college and I became a musician. I was like, I want to rap. You know what I'm saying? And I've been writing, and I've been like the guy that was actually on a soccer bus, like that they were like, hey, this guy can beatbox, you go ahead and make up a freestyle about the team. You know what I'm saying? And it wasn't anything great, but it was something I was already kind of into. So, but that was the most transformative thing about my life, was diving into being a musician, because it showed me the base level of what all of this is for. But I had to work through so many different lanes to level up or do things or whatever. Because, at first I sucked. I was god awful. So I just had to learn, what I'm saying, how to go embarrass myself on stage and get critiqued. And
everybody sucks when you do something for the first time.
Yeah. But I was so cool with it, because I was like, the fact that they're even giving me advice, I'm like, they must see something in me. You know what I'm saying? So I always ate off that energy, but there's a fine line between being in love with music and doing it because you love it, and then getting into the industry and being in the business part of it. So I ended up taking a little break, and I worked at a venue, and I started routing and booking tours with some partners of mine at the time. Shout out Jason and Henny. And we would route tour. So we had a club in Richmond that they owned, that Jason owned, and it was called Kingdom. And there was a sister club in Nova called Empire in Springfield, Virginia. And then we would rent clubs in Virginia Beach, and we would bring people through Virginia and just route tours. So I learned a lot about the business part of that, in particular the live part, but also like how, so this was at probably the best time in for me to be in, because it was also the blog era, which was like the rise, like all this indie stuff that people talk about now, really festered in hip hop artists being independent.
Yep.
You know, in that time period, in the blog era, that's where you get most of the superstars that you have now. Kendrick, J. Cole, Drake, all from the blog era.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like the big three, they're all from that era.
Yep.
This is an era where internet started becoming a tool. People could get directly to their fans. You didn't have to wait for a label to play your demo or give you a chance. You could try to put it out there yourself. And blogs in particular had an immense amount of power at this time of curating.
Yep.
And they did it. And I want to
say, they could put something out and say, this is the next dude, and people would pay attention.
At that time, yes.
Yeah.
Like this is like the way the internet is built, and like trying to farm engagement and shit is all built off of this time period.
Yep.
It's not just rap when I'm talking blogs. But like this time period in rap, it was beneficial.
Yeah. The
like
sneaker culture was big that way too.
Yep. All of that. Yep. So exactly. Karma Loop, all is that during that time, you know, Plunder, all of that cool stuff. So, but everything was handled by the artists and their team. You know, some of them had labels, like Hobson had a label, but it was an independent label. You know what I'm saying? So I actually got to see how all of the business worked. Well, not every single bit of it, but a lot of the business work.
Yeah.
Because the artists I was dealing with, they had to do the business in front of me, essentially pause. You know what I'm saying? Like, super pause. But like, that's how so it's like, there's no better way to learn. You know what I'm saying? Like, nobody can tell you that. You see it, and like then you emulate. You don't imitate, you emulate. You take the good things about it that you saw from me, take the bad things, and you start to kind of build your own system. You know what I'm saying? Or at least understand it, right? So I got back into music, and I dove further into the branding aspect of it. One of the things I saw was a common theme. The artists who were killing it the most had the strongest brands. So I worked very hard on that. One great example is A$AP Rocky. When he first dropped the Live, Love, ASAP thing, it was branded so exceptional that he is dating Rihanna now. That is the start of his trajectory to where he is right now. And so, and I saw it. You know what I'm saying? I witnessed what he was doing, how he was doing. No, you know, obviously I don't know all the secret sauce, but like I could see it from my perspective, and it's like, okay, I got to work on this. I got to develop something very strong for myself, so that even if I do slip some, the brand integrity and the fan insulation is so strong, I'll survive. You know what I'm saying? So I worked on that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. As I worked on that, though, I realized, oh man, I need a graphic designer. I was a broke ass rapper. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like I was just selling weed and trying to get by. And you know, doing what I could to just feed it all into the dream, right? So I taught myself how to do graphic design. All right, cool. Well, now we got to shoot videos. The internet's becoming big. People are shooting their own videos. All right, well, now I'm teaching myself how to shoot videos, and I'm putting myself around resources to get more visuals, get out there to the public more. So I learned that. Well, at some point, I got decent, you know, I look at it now, I'm like, man, I could have smoked it way better. But you know what I'm saying? Like, at that time, people thought it was good, right? We'll just say it like that. So other artists started coming to me and said, can you do this for me?
Now we got a business.
Well, I didn't know it yet. At first, I just did everything for free. I just, like, dog, I loved it.
You were just enjoying it.
I love it. You know what I'm saying? And I was just like...
Which is often how most successful businesses start, is you're just doing it out of love. And then one day you wake up and realize, wait, I can charge people for this?
Well, it hurt. I think, and I don't say this out loud a lot. I think some of it, you know, as I'm older now, hurt me because... there's a lot of things in the city, especially in the hip hop thing, that I feel like I've put together, or you know, had a big hand in. You got
taken advantage of.
I don't want to say that. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't want to put that on nobody's jacket. It could simply be just like us not communicating properly, right? So, but like, there's things that I don't. Credit's a bad word, you know what I'm saying? But you know, I didn't get any credit for it, you know, and I felt like that was stunting my business, like. Why are you trying to hide me almost that I'm helping you when you could let people know and I could help other people? And then maybe I could help you more from that.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like we could work out something. So I regrouped, and then I kind of was like, all right, I'm gonna freelance for a while, and this is how I'm gonna do it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna work on just getting really good at like bringing visions to life. Just starting with this, and it just built, man. Like literally, it just naturally built from that point. You know, I could go into details of like certain points and stuff, but you know, this is like I started this, and I also gotta put in some context. I went freelance too because I was a felon, and I was going to job interviews, and I mean, I'm a personable guy. I can kill interviews, bro. It's the easiest thing in the world. But
crush the interview, but then they look at the resume and be like,
dude,
oh,
it's like almost like they didn't look at the resume at first, so they're like, oh, I'm really excited now. Let me look through it.
Yeah.
And then they see it, and I could feel the energy change. And then I never got jobs. Jobs I'm more than qualified for, and if you look at what I've done in that span, it's almost like, why would you pass up on a guy like that?
I've dealt with that not because of a felony, but
Yeah.
because I was a college dropout. So I could interview like no other.
Yeah.
We get through the interview. Oftentimes they made me the job offer, and then they read deeper in my oh wait, you don't have a degree. Sorry,
Yeah. So we can get to that in a second because I think that's a revolution that's happening right now.
Oh yeah,
right?
hands down.
But you know, I go through these projects and I'm locked in, bro. Like this is the thing about me is like when I was a soccer player, that's what I did.
Yeah.
When I was a rapper, that's like I'm being serious. I'm going through therapy for some of the just like for a while I wasn't Will. My rap name is OG Illa.
Yeah.
Like people in the city didn't even know my name was Will. They call me Illa. They call me OG. That was it. So it was like when I made the transition of like, all right, I think I'm done trying to be a rapper for my career. I really want to invest into this thing.
Yeah.
Like it still took 2 years to really do because like I had music still. But I'm like in my heart, I love music. I still make music, right? You know, but it's like a drug. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, I had to like wean myself off of it. You know, people were asking for features for me to come to shows, and like, you know, I think some of them are still mad at me. I was like, no, I'm just not there right now. You know what I'm saying? So I'm trying to make this change, and I needed to be clear who I am now and who I was.
See, but that part of your story, like being able to find, because I say this to people all the time, like you may be passionate about football, but your small little 5'7" ass ain't gonna be a running back in the NFL. But guess what? Yeah. They have marketing departments for each team. They have there's a front office.
Trainers.
Yeah,
go learn how to train.
There's the NFL employs thousands upon thousands of people. Only 52 get to put that jersey on
one team. Yeah. And not only that, that's the NFL, bro. Like there's a UFL, there's college football, there's high school football. Again, that's about channeling it into the healthy things where you don't, because you know you hate to hear those stories like about how nice somebody was in high school.
Yeah,
it's like, all right, what you done since?
Exactly.
I can tell you I'm a lot better now. I look better at everything since I was in high school. You know what I'm saying? That was like, you know what I'm saying? We're talking about, 18 years ago. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, yeah, but, again, man, it's just a developing and
but you recognize making that pivot. A lot of people can't.
Well, yes, but even now, right? So I decided to do this. That's at age, like, or finally, let's say the 2 years passed, I'm 32. Mm-hmm. 32, yeah. I had my first son. You know, I started my own first business. I still got to learn. Yeah. Like just because I decided to do it doesn't mean it's going to be successful. It doesn't even mean that I necessarily had a plan. Yeah. I knew that I had X amount of regular clients and I could get by for a little while. You know what I'm saying? You know,
my definition of an entrepreneur is someone who jumps out of an airplane and builds a parachute on the way down. We just figure shit out, dude.
That's it. That's my greatest skill. And that's why I feel like I'm valuable and this is the role that I am, right? So even now, I'm feeling like, oh man, I'm really understanding my business. I'm 5 years into this business. You know what I'm saying? Like, and
there's always
hundreds of thousands of dollars in revenue into this business. I'm several clients, very important projects. You know, again, time out of my lifetime, sacrifice for my family, and I'm I'm still learning my business. Yeah. And that's what I mean is like, you gotta be dedicated to it like Kobe, bro.
Oh, yeah. You got to
know what I'm saying?
Eat, breathe, sleep. Like, literally, somebody I was talking to today, I was like, dude, I've been an entrepreneur for 10 years. I stepped out on faith, started this thing 10 years ago. And I feel like in the last 12 months, I'm really an entrepreneur now. Because it's like because like what you were talking before is like somebody tells you one thing, you may not catch it at that level because you haven't reached the next valley. But like now I hear those same lessons that I heard 7 years ago. And I'm like, oh, that's what that means. Okay, I need to pivot over here. But it's a never ending cycle of education, growth, and networking, things like that, because we have to look at things like, and here's the difficult part about running an organization, having team. As a CEO, my responsibility is to look 3 to 5 years down the road. Yeah. I had a team member get upset with me the other day because I'm talking about AI in our industry. And he was like, this is going to take my job away. I'm like, first off, bro, hear me when I say this. This has nothing to do with this specific company. This is a worldwide thing. Yes. It's just like Netflix and Blockbuster. If you choose not to make that change, things are coming. Just like anybody who's like Bitcoin's a conspiracy. No, digital currency is going to be a thing, whether you like it or not.
I think you're again getting to the same thing I was going to talk about with this pivotal point. It's like, yo, we're at a point in life where people are demanding evolution,
yes,
innovation,
absolutely,
growth. It's not just AI, it's education, it's health, we're seeing it in real time. You know what I'm saying?
Like mental health wasn't a thing when we were growing up.
No, and again, I think it's good and bad the way that's being used. Like I think it's being weaponized as much as it is. You know what I'm saying? So
somebody's like, I can't come to work, I need a mental health day, and they're not really going through something. But
or just like some of the stuff that's good for some people is not good for everybody. Yeah. So I think again we got to get to, and I think AI is going to be a good point for this, where things are way more customizable and can make your life better.
So I heard this on the podcast the other day. Khalees, you know Khalees, like my milkshake brings all the boys here. She's, a lot of people don't know what's going on with her right now. She lives in Africa. She started up these businesses, owns a ton of property. She was saying on
she like farms.
Yeah.
I've seen her on IG.
Yep.
Yeah.
So her son is homeschooled right now, and his tutor is AI. She said it is the greatest thing they've ever done. It's customized for him. It learns his learning style. If he doesn't understand something, it comes back and it re-explains it to him in a different way. Like, this isn't here to replace us. It's a tool.
Yes, and this is the thing. Is like, to do things that you've never done, you're going to have to do things you've never done. You got to be okay with being uncomfortable.
Yes.
And this is what scares me as much. And it is... As much as I'm, like obviously there's concern around innovation in any industry, right? Because you're changing something that may already be working, right? Even if you're making it better or trying to make it better.
Yep.
But where do you want to live, man? Like, do you want to live in the past, or do you want to get to a point where, you can live? And I think, obviously, this is a very optimistic look. I'm going to preface that. I see my optimism, but that's the kind of world I want to live in too, bro. You know what I'm saying? Where I'm like optimistic about things. I'm not going to keep letting the fear mongering of, left or right or good or bad from other people like decide what feels right to me. And then also like what I'm willing to do. I'm willing to jump out of a plane and build a parachute on the way down. Like, I'm that type of person. So this is something that I'm willing to step into. Now, don't get me wrong. The reason people are afraid, nobody cares about Mariah Carey singing about farts.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to see a Van Gogh by somebody who didn't paint it with the brushstrokes.
Yeah.
We don't need that.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how it's being pushed on the consumer right now. So if you don't want people to hate the bad things about it, don't make it such a high priority or a high marketing value. Like, the good things about it are the organization, the things that, and then it's going to be able to do things that we don't even know yet.
Yeah.
And that I think that's and it's not like AI hasn't had some amazing impacts right now.
Yeah. But this is the beginning.
But even right now, breast cancer, mammograms, and breast cancer,
being able to detect those things,
removal right now, it's insane, bro. This is what they do. They kind of see the area of where it's at. They go in and they scrape out from these females' breasts.
Yeah.
Then they have to heal a week or a month or something, and then they go back and just to see if they got it all. There's no And a lot of times they don't. It's like I think it's like I don't actually want to put percentage on because I don't want to sound ignorant. It's a high percentage though.
Yeah.
With AI, it's 100% right now. Like they're getting it all out.
Yep.
So just like as a practical use right there, how many amazing women we're gonna save just because of one thing? You know what I'm saying? And I think we're at critical points in our life, and not all of it's man-made. We're gonna have to figure out things with the environment.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna have to even figure out infrastructure with the AI itself. But again, going back to, I just want to tap into the education thing.
Yeah.
This is why education has to evolve. We're going into times that we haven't been in, and honestly, like when you went through high school, how much life things did you feel like you learned? None. Nothing that's like really good for what you're doing right now.
Me reciting who the first 20 presidents of this country were is not going to help me right now because I have a device in my phone that can tell me.
They can tell you. They said you never always have a calculator on you. You always have a calculator on you. Yeah, like there's so many things that they were just wrong about, and it's okay because they're looking from back then, right? But it's like right now, kids need to learn languages.
Mm-hmm.
They're not like when we grew up, we were interacting with Americans.
Yep.
We didn't have phones, internet like that.
Now the world's smaller. We're talking to everybody.
That's what I'm saying. You need language. You need, because it's not going to just be language. It's going to be a connection to a human that's developed out of respect for something that they share, right?
Absolutely.
Like you don't share nothing with somebody. What do you respect them for?
Yep.
And then math is so like I've learned on TikTok way easier ways of doing math in China.
It's insane.
It's insane. It's like, yo, why did y'all make us do this?
Yeah.
And it makes me know, did they know the whole time? Are they dumb? Like,
well, I'll tell you this. The system of schooling is set up to develop good worker bees.
Yes.
Because even you look at the prison system.
Which I'm also okay with.
Yeah.
In a sense of like, yo, I think everybody, me, you, the homeless person, the vet, everybody, we all have to contribute and work towards a better society.
Oh, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So I think there's some value in that, but not the worker bee. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I'm not building anything just for you.
No, the way the structure's set up is just like prison. You think about in prison, you get 1 hour of outside time. Hey, lunch is going to be at this time. Versus like as an entrepreneur and a free thinker, I may not be hungry till 2 o'clock. Why the hell I gotta eat at noon?
Time to think about food till 2 o'clock.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's like being put on this systematic schedule where it's like your brain's being trained from elementary through high school, so that when you go into corporate America, okay, I get here at 8 o'clock, I stop at 12 for an hour, I get back to work 1 to 5, and then I drive home and I do it all over again tomorrow. Yeah. Guys like us, our days look completely different every single day.
Yeah. It's almost like. And it's funny because like you see a lot of 9 to 5 people, they want to do what we do.
Yeah, they don't.
A lot of people like us, we're like, dog, I would love to be off at 5.
Yeah,
like I'm thinking about it right now, like, dog, that would be so sweet.
And when they get home at 5, they don't have to think about work. When we get home, the ideas are still flowing. We're still thinking about stuff.
Working. Yeah, and yeah. So, but again, that's why, and it may not be. I'm not trying to put AI on this crazy holy pedestal, but that's why we need more customizable things. Like, yo, your kid learns different than my kid. My kid learns different than the next kid. I just found out about like various, or like there's a range of autism where like, when I'm thinking like if a kid's autistic, like they're just like non-social, like they're gonna be special needs, whatever. That's not always the case.
Elon Musk is autistic.
Yes, there's some kids that like they carry like both of the traits where they're like super social and they like got this crazy gift, like like memory or and Elon's it seems to be he's able to compartmentalize and deal with like high like pressure situations. You know what I'm saying? So like whatever it is, it's just crazy. You know what I'm saying? So it's like
it's a superpower for both of them.
That's what I mean. Like, and I'm like almost like, yo, how do we? Is there a way to isolate that? And is that a significant? Is that signifying like a growth and evolution? Of like, you know what I'm saying? Or is that something that can be exacerbated in all areas? You know what I'm saying? Where it's like firing, like that'd be kind of cool. You know what I'm saying? So you know, I thought that was really interesting when I found that out. But
Yeah, because most of the time I think they're using a different part of their brain, and it's more focused in that central area of the brain than what most humans are experiencing.
yeah, because I you know, and even as an entrepreneur, I'm all over the place.
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
like my mind's like, bro, I can be in a conversation.
Oh, we all got ADD.
Yeah. There we go. I didn't want to say it out loud, but yeah.
I'll say it for you.
Yeah.
I'm not worried about getting canceled. I'll say it.
Yeah, we all have ADD. Yeah. So yeah.
Last thing is, because I know we got to wrap up here in a few.
No worries, man.
I want to touch on like the family life. Like, to me, it's always interesting. So I got 2 kids. You got 3.
Yeah.
It's always a difficult thing as an entrepreneur to always feel that you're giving the time and attention to the people most important in your life.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm a provider. I got to make sure things are taken care of at the home. Like if I don't hunt, we don't eat.
Yeah.
And what's that been like for you? Because in terms of like the industry you're in, so like somebody I recently had earlier this year on the podcast, like he's a restaurateur. So like he's got kids, he's got a family, but the bulk of what he needs to do when the business is popping, it's at night and on the weekends.
Yeah.
Like, so for you, that lifestyle and the industry you're in, how do you manage the two?
So first I want to say my wife is incredible. Like 0% chance that any of this happens without her.
Yeah.
Like literally when I first started my business, like the first 6 months she was pregnant and she paid all the bills by herself. Like so I could get my shit started. You know what I'm saying? So first off, her, you know what I'm saying? She's definitely a secret sauce. But it's something again that I've been learning. Like I've and this is something I don't think females or women will understand at all as a father. There is something that when you have a kid that cuts on, there's like, yo, I just gotta get it. You know what I'm saying? Like
Your why immediately changes.
Yeah. It's just like I'm so focused on like providing and making sure we're good, and I know all the stuff we're up against. Health insurance, food, inflation. Whatever, living a good life. So much stuff, right? Getting into a good school, whatever.
Saving for their college education.
Yeah,
and all these things.
you're thinking 50 years down the road. I'm playing. I got it, and it was actually funny because my financial advisor is the one that kind of snapped me into it. Is like I'm throwing all this money into trust, life insurance, so my kids are good. And he's like, yo, you're not throwing enough money into retirement. Like, what are you and your wife gonna do? And I was like, damn. So, again, there's things that even in my mind where I am super unbalanced in the amount of energy I put into them, right? But then, like you said, time, right?
Yeah.
So luckily, I am an entrepreneur. So I set my schedule up to accommodate as much as I can.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, bro, if I was working a 9 to 5 or this, there's sacrifice and there's time that's going to be spent away, and it actually helps them develop character and their sense of like independence as well. So even when I'm with them, sometimes I'm not doing stuff with them. Like, we'll go outside. I sit on the porch, work on my computer, listen to music, and they're over in the driveway riding a bike.
Yeah. Just the fact that you're present in that moment sometimes is enough for a kid at certain stages.
And two, for me, that's enough because I'm like, I want them to be independent. For me, I was super like I said, I was the only boy in my family, and then when I was 10, I got put in foster care, and I was by myself. You know what I'm saying? I had to survive, and I've seen some very cold things in this world.
Yeah.
I'm cool with being a little extra tough on my boys sometimes. And it's not even tough saying like, hey, go play by yourself.
Yeah. But like the world's tough. You got to prep them.
Yeah, you got to prep them because like, I also want them to, like anything can happen. I need them to be good tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I'm building them now, and that's very important to me. So when I do get time with them, let's spend time. Like, we went to the drive-in theater. We went to Yorktown Beach, like all types of cool stuff. And then when I get that one-on-one time with them, I talk to them, even though they're young. Like I have a 2-year-old, a 4-year-old, and a 13-year-old. The 13-year-old, he's in that like I don't care about anything stage. It's cool.
I can't wait for that.
Yeah. But my 4-year-old, man, he's like his goal in life is to please me. You know what I'm saying? And like just like make me proud. You know what I'm saying? So like I talk to him, and like obviously 90% of this stuff is going straight over his head.
But some of that's seeping in right now, and he'll be able to pull that out 10, 15 years later.
And he pulls it out now. Some of the stuff he's pulling out now, like like if he's doing something and he knows he's not doing it, he'll stop and he'll say something that I said to him. He's like, I don't do that because of this. And I'm like, yes, you know what I'm saying? And then like, he's all about family because, you know, we tell him that, you know what I'm saying? So, I think, quality and what matters to you and, how you instill that in your kids is where I weigh my value the most. Don't get me. I see my kids every day though. You know what I'm saying? Like I see them every morning, you know, I try to get home to put them to bed every night.
Same thing I do.
Yeah. I love that part. You know, and I know it for her, you know, my wife, I'm sure it's like, yeah, of course you get like you get to do some stuff. It's like, yo, I'm with these kids all day. You know what I'm saying? Like, but,
no, my wife's the same way too, and she doesn't want. By the end of the night, the kids can piss her off so much. She's like, "Yeah, you put their ass to bed. I don't want to deal with this."
No, same, yeah, same. But you know, me and my wife, and we're still growing. You know, we've been together 5 years too, and still learning because we've only been married a year, and that's what's important. I think in all of this, throughout, is just communication because. That's what helps it. You know, it's the fact that we talked about it. We've tried to figure it out. Don't get me wrong. I'm not nearly as great as she wants me to be at it.
Yeah.
You know, but I'm working on it. And but that's what it's about. You know what I'm saying? It's like.
It's all a work in progress.
Yeah, because she's an entrepreneur too. Don't get me wrong. You know, she just got signed to a company, but she's been on her entrepreneur stuff too. You know, so. It's just luckily what she's working in, and I'm not gonna put her business out there, but the field she's working in, you know, it allowed a lot of flexibility, and you know, that's another thing. We got lucky with that, and I'll just say that in all instances of life, you kind of just need a little luck with all this stuff. You know, like kind of need some things to line up for you. You know what I'm saying?
A lot of things that happen in life are pure luck, but it's being prepared for those moments. So when those lucky moments come, you're prepared to receive that, and even being able to see when those opportunities are there.
Yeah, and like. Building infrastructure or structure for yourself, foundation for yourself. So even if the luck don't line up, you're at least good. You know what I'm saying? Like, because the luck don't always line up, and even the things you think is lined up is not lined up in this industry. You know, especially in the music industry. You know what I'm saying? So like, you know, I work outside of the music industry. I do a lot of corporate work, do a lot of white label work, you know, stuff like that. But like, you know, in the music industry, man, it's like. Yeah, it's very flaky. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah,
so, yeah.
No, that's one of the toughest industries to be in, man.
It is, yeah. So,
dude, this was a dope conversation, man. If people want to connect with you, learn more, reach out to you, where can they find you at?
Yo, you can find me everywhere at The Music Shop, and it's THEMSQSHOP. MSQ means music. So look me up there, or you can follow me on Instagram at I Heard a Song Today.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Man, appreciate you being here, brother.
Thank you, bro. Appreciate you.
Absolutely. We'll see you guys on the next episode.
Peace.